Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Winnie Modisane, and please subscribe to this channel and like it so that many people can actually benefit from it. Today I'll be talking to you about juggling it all. Juggling it all. You know, as women, we find ourselves juggling multiple roles at once. You know, these roles may include motherhood, being a daughter, being a daughter-in-law, being a sister-in-law, being a colleague, being a wife, being a boss, being a career woman. The list is actually endless. And unfortunately, all these roles require a piece of you at one stage. At times they just overlap. They are just, and they stretch us when they do overlap. And when we are stretched, we stress. And when we stress, we fall ill. And when we are ill, we stress again. And the cycle just continue. And you hear a woman saying, I am going through a lot. Hey, all is not going okay. It's simply because you are juggling, mama, and you are not juggling correctly, or you are not coping in your juggling. So for this video today, I'm going to be talking to us about how to lead a balanced life, how to juggle it well, how to juggle effectively. So in other words, how to be balanced as a woman and have it all, because it is possible for us to juggle it correctly. But I like what Apostle Paul says. He says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So it means without Christ, it is very difficult. It will be very difficult for us to juggle it all. And hence, every time when I meet a woman and she's actually going through the worst period in their lives, I always just ask them, do you know Christ? Do you have a relationship with him? Because I know with him, he makes the juggling much better, and we don't even see how we are juggling it all. I just learned recently when I was watching some of the YouTube videos of other women that say they are homemakers. What is this homemaker? And is mostly those women that are staying at home moms, and they say because they are at home, they are homemakers. It's basically what we used to call housewives. People that will be staying at home, looking after the kids when they come back from school. Some of them actually just even do homeschooling. And they have this program that they are running at home. They would bake during the week, they would cook, and the way they thoroughly clean their houses every day. And I'm like, hey, where do they get this time? But I realize for some of us do that over and above us having a 9-to-5 or having a job, and from my profession, that not even a 9-to-5, a 7-to-7, and we still are required to juggle everything else over and above when we get home. So I'm going to take us through the processes of juggling it all well. Juggling it all well so that we don't feel overwhelmed. Number one, I think you need to be able to identify yourself. For you to know how to juggle, you need to be aware of what you are juggling. You need to be aware what is on your plate for you to know and juggle it very well. You can't plan on something that you do not know. So you need to understand what is on my plate. So it needs a thorough assessment of the processes around you. You need to identify yourself as who are you. When you identify yourself, go back to when you speak of yourself, what are the relationships, these roles that we juggle is mostly, if you look at them, they are relationship roles. They are roles that we have to do on a daily basis. Some of them will give us money at the end of the day, and some of them will just build up relationship. Number one, And now if I am to identify myself, I'll be saying I am a mother, I am a daughter to my mother, I am a sister to my siblings, I am a wife to my handsome husband, and I am a pastor's wife as well, and I'm a teacher of the word of God. I am a homemaker, I'm the NPO founder, I'm a career woman, and at the same time I'm an academic, and I'm a sister-in-law. Like I said, I am an aunt, and I'm a colleague, I'm a friend. To some people, I'm their manager, but in part, I'm their boss. So all this role, and also I'm a subordinate to someone. I have a boss as well at work. So all those are roles that I play in my life. And as soon as you know what roles you are juggling, then it is easy for you to now plan how to juggle them. So some people are studying, you'll add there, I'm a student, and when you speak of you being a mother, you must also identify mother to who. Now I'm a mother to 2 teenage children, a boy and a girl. So automatically that brings me to a fact that it can be easy to be a mother to teenagers, both girl and a boy. You find out that a boy and a girl are different, and you need to manage them differently. So some are mothers to children that are adults already. It's a very different thing from being a mother of a 5-year-old. Identify yourself. Say, I am a mother of, because the roles that you play at each stage of their lives is totally different, and it needs a certain strategy to deal with those roles. And you are a daughter, and it tells, when I'm a daughter to my mom and I'm still young, it's different from now as a daughter that is I'm in my own home, it's different from my daughter. My daughter, relationship of my daughter to me is different from the relationship that I have with my mom. Because my daughter to me, she is still dependent on me. And me to my mom, I'm not dependent to my mom. So as you write down that list of who you are, also identify to say, I am a daughter to my mother. And you know that your relationship with your mother as an adult is no longer a dependent. It's just a fun relationship where you just check on your mom. Is she okay? And you call her regularly. How often do you call her? Because I don't think what she's expecting to phone her twice a day, because checking her once is okay. So it is up to you. How do you service? Which brings me to my next point. You plan. After identify all these roles, now it's time to plan. You sit down and say, my mother, when I'm saying I am a mother, this role of mine, is it a passive role or is it an active role? For older women that are older than me, like maybe let's talk about a mother that is a pensioner and having children that are actually working, what happens with that mother is different from me, because the mother that is an older mother that is a pensioner, the relationship is no longer dependent. I don't know if you get me there. Her children are no longer dependent on her. They are on their own. So even when you are a mother to those, the role is now a passive one. You can choose not to babysit their children. You can choose not to engage them on whatever, or you can, I think maybe you guys understand me. So identify each of the role. I'm a sister to 2 siblings. When you are a sister to siblings, are they working? Are they independent? Because if they are not working, you'll find that they are still dependent, or they need help here and there. You have to carry your sibling, or you have a working sibling that you can just say, hey, let's just go out and go buy things with your sibling. So it depends. Check how you service those relationships. So that's part of your planning. You identify, I said you give it a frequency of service. How often do you service this relationship? How often do you service it? How often do you become a mother? How often? So it depends on where your children are at that particular time. I don't mean you stop being a mother. That's when I talk of an active role or a passive role. So an active role, you do it physically, you are there every day doing it, you are active. Like right now, my kids are small, 16 and 14. Actually, I am actively being a mother because they're still under my roof. I have to make sure but clean as they go to school, I have to ensure all those needs are met. But with my mom, I don't think my mom goes through that. Did I eat? Did I sleep well? Am I warm? Because over the years, she knows I am okay. But with my kids, I make sure I have to remind, where Jesse is cold today. Have you packed your books for school tomorrow? Because there's an active role. So you need to identify whether it is an active role or is a passive role, and how often do you do it. And then from there, you check the roles that you do daily. Those are the roles that that will take your time, because on every day you need to show up for those roles and show up actively. So I think we're gonna go through them, like motherhood, especially when you're having small kids and you show up. And at the same time, there is another active role, which is work, that you need to be showing up every day as well. And there is another role. You are the chairperson of the women's league at church. You need to also show up maybe once a week and lead that organization. Or maybe you are a chairperson of some society, more community. It's a role that you need to play. As a result, you need to actually be active also in it. But you can see that society, you meet in the community gathering, you meeting only once a month. So there is a monthly role. You have to service it once a month. But the rest of the days does not make you not to become a person that participate in that organization, but it's just that you are not doing it actively every day. I will also give an example of a friend. It depends. For kids at high school, the friend role is very active, because they must sit with them at break, they must eat with them, they must spend time with them, they must walk with them, go school. But when me and my age with my friends, I don't have to sit down every day and eat with them. I don't have to sit with them every day, because I'm in my workplace, they are at their workplace. And if I need my friend, I take a call and I call. If we have to meet up for an outing, we'll organize it, we'll go. You'll find that maybe once a month or quarterly, because we are very busy. You'll find that the friendship, you service it once a year or once a quarter or whatever, where you physically meet with your friend. But it does not mean your friend is not there, because the one about they are your friend. When there is a need, they come on board. And that's what adult friendship is all about. So every role come differently. I met a lady today at work, and she was saying to me, you know what, I'm just wondering, how do you juggle it all? And I said, I'm going to record this video so that I can tell and assist people that really want to juggle it all, because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And if you plan it well, you are going to win and overcome and achieve a lot as a person. So after you have planned all these roles of yours, you need now to look into ways how to simplify your life. How to simplify your life in the performance of your roles, so that none of the role is left behind. So you need to learn to simplify your life and live better. When I had my daughter years ago, I was just a new parent, a new mom, and just recently gotten married. I think My daughter was born into the second year, really married, and now I have all these chores in the house, and remember, and I'm a baby girl, and I was like, yeah, I can do it all. I'm going to clean, kneel down, ke korope, ke tlhatswe washene ka matsogo, and all that. But I just at that time, my husband bought us a washing machine and said, no, you can't. And he went and bought a mop and said, no, you can't kneel down. He just simplified my life. And I wonder where would I be if he did not simplify my life like that. Because the washing, or the baby's washing could have just destroyed me. But the love for juggling it all was there, because some of us don't even believe that people should come into my house and cook for my husband. That's my personal choice. I decided that I'll cook and feed my family personally. So the washing machine then simplified my life, and I was going to church. I'm a Christian. Every Sunday I go for fellowship. I had my baby. I was working very far, like from where I lived, and the list goes on. And this is what I used to do then. At that time, I'm also managing a unit at work. I have a team that is reporting to me, that I have to sit and make working schedule for them, and it was just a lot. I have to go to church on Sunday. I have to spend time with my family. There was just a lot that was on my table, and this is how I did it. I decided to say, when I on Saturday, we had the women's service at church on Saturdays, and I was attending it without fail. I have a small baby at home. So what I used to do on Friday when I came back from work, I used to work in Pretoria, living in Joburg. So I had to travel that traffic every day. So when I got home, I would literally on Friday take the washing, put it in the washing machine, and allow it to wash, cycle the night. And then when it is done, I'll take it out and wait for the Saturday morning to take it out to the line. And then in the morning, I'll put it on the line, and I'll go to the women's service later. And then when I go to the women's service, I fellowship with fellow women. And then when I'm done fellowshipping with fellow women, I come back home and take the washing from off the line and putting it in the baskets. And then tomorrow on Sunday after church, I would actually stand as we are watching Sunday TV. It used to be the famous thing that we were watching then. It was this marriage show, but again, a perfect wedding. So I'll sit there and be watching more perfect wedding and date my family. But at the same time, I'm on the ironing board. I'm busy ironing that washing that I washed yesterday, and then I pack it nicely for Monday, for Tuesday. For my daughter, her clothes were nicely packed, and my husband and mine also, they were packed nicely, and we were ready for the week. And when the week starts, we were not running around. So I was simplifying my life. And then by then I have decided that every Sunday in my house, the day I got married, I'm going to make sure we eat Sunday meal. So I had that role also to say, provide and feed my family that Sunday course. So what I did, on Saturday, I'll do my as we are sitting watching TV, I'll cook the food for Sunday. I'll prepare the salads and whatever that needed to be done, the chopping that needed to be done. And then in the morning, I would finish up. And then when we go to church, the lunch is ready. When we come back, we warm and we eat. So my life was simple that way, because Saturday it was a relaxed day. Now I'm relaxed, but at the same time, I'm preparing for tomorrow. So everything was according to the plan, and I made sure I planned enough. So that's what I call simplify your life. So the following, the washing, the cooking was not overwhelming me, because I did it when I was relaxed. In my most relaxed time, it was not a chore. The washing machine, the clothes were washing themselves. and then preparing for Sunday food. I did it on time. On Saturday, when we come back from church, I served, and I could spend time with who? With the husband. I was doing my wifely duties at that time instead of being on the stove. So that's what I'm talking about when I say simplify your life. The other instance was when I was now studying, when I was doing my master's. It was a very, very, very intense course, and we were submitting a report or a project report every week. Like every week, every subject, you must write an assignment that you had to quote and have 5 references. So it means you have to read 5 articles, and we were doing 3 subjects per semester. So it meant or every Monday I was submitting for the 3, and submitting for those 3, each one you must have read 5 articles. So it meant for every week I was reading 15 articles for submission, and I had a child that was now in grade 1 when I was studying. So I had to sit and plan and simplify my life. So how did I do that? I would go to work and work as a manager of a unit, and run and do my work very well and finish at 4 o'clock. When I was supposed to leave and go home, I figured it out that, you know what, at 4 o'clock when you travel, when you reach home, you are extremely tired. Therefore, you can't be driving and going home, and when you get there, you are tired, you have other responsibilities when you get there. I would stay at home an extra 2 hours, and then from 4 to 6 o'clock I knocked off. I get home, I assisted my grade 1 daughter with homework, and then after that I cooked. 8 o'clock I'm sitting with my husband, we watching TV, we are relaxed, and that's my wifely duties. So can you see how when you simplify your life, you are able to juggle and achieve a lot of things? So I think this is where I will end for today. In the next video, I will be going through each of the roles that we do. So maybe you can just send me a comment to say what are your roles that you are doing, and then we can just look at your role, and then we do it as a case study together to say this is how you can actually juggle your life, and you so that you are able to achieve a lot of things. So I thank you so much. So in the next segment, I will be going through as a mother, identify from myself. Like I said, I will do an example with me to say the rules that I have identified, which ones are daily, which ones are weekly, which ones are monthly, how often do I service them, and then are they active, are they passive, and then how do I jot them in my life so that I can be able to achieve a lot of all other things. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment if you also need to just learn how to juggle. Maybe we can just use your roles as an example next. Thank you so much. Goodbye.